Well, we welcome you back to the Palace of Auburn Hills for the NCAA Wrestling Championships. We're ready now for 174 pounds. Coverage of the NCAA Wrestling Championships will continue tomorrow. Make sure to catch all the action on ESPNU. For a preview of all the NCAA championships, go to NCAAsports.com. NCAAsports.com, the official online home for all 88 NCAA championships. All right, guys, here we go. 174 pounds. That means Ben Askren, last year's champion. Twice he finished as a runner-up to Chris Pendleton of Oklahoma State. They'll take on Eric Luedke of Iowa. The other half of the bracket, it's Brendan Mason of Oklahoma State. All of a sudden, these are huge points for the Cowboys against Keith Gavin of Pitt. Team standings right now: Iowa State 69.5, Minnesota 69.5, Oklahoma State 62.5. That's through 165 pounds.
The senior has a record this season of 40-0.
Askren.
He is on an 85.
He is almost unbeatable. Unorthodox style, but a style that has certainly served him well.
Well, if Chris Pendleton didn't exist, Ben Askren would be going for his 4th title. Twice a runner-up for Pendleton, freshman and sophomore last year, his first NCAA championship, and Missouri's first ever national championship. Ben Askren has been a great entertaining ambassador for the sport of wrestling.
He just walks right at you. He is fearless. He is so confident with his style that he can score from anywhere, defend any position.
Well, Jeff, you make a good point. I mean, here's Askren being quoted as saying before this tournament began, hey, I want to put it out there on the bulletin board. I'm the best, so bring your best. I want you at your best. None of this politically correct talk. Don't give your opponents something to put up on the bulletin board. Askren saying bring it, because I'm the best at this weight class.
Well, Eric Luedke, his opponent here, I like Eric Luedke. He's scrappy, and he does nothing great, but everything okay. He hustles and works hard, and he's a grinder, and that's why he was an All-American last year. And he just can't hold. He's never been able to hold my attention. And then you go away, you think he's not doing anything, and all he does is put a 20-match winning streak together this year. He just wins.
Not flashy,
not
but
flashy
effective,
at all.
but very effective, very efficient.
Whereas Askren is flashy. He told our ESPN News earlier tonight, he was talking with our guys there and saying, hey, look, I know I'm the best at 174. I'm not going to take any prisoners. I come out and try to do my best. And he said he developed this style because he always felt like he wasn't as strong or maybe even as quick as some of his opponents. He's just finding a way to win.
2-0 over here on mat number 4.
Well, you do what your body allows you to do, and his body allows him to do a lot. But I think mentally, right now, he's on a different plane than most of the athletes.
You mentioned Chris Pendleton, Tim. He's only lost to one other wrestler in his collegiate career. That was Ryan Lang of Purdue his freshman year. Other than that, Chris Pendleton's the only one to best him.
Gavin goes out to a 2-0 lead against Brandon Mason, who is unseeded, and Oklahoma State needs him badly. But Gavin, the number 2 seed, doing the job for Pitt.
Well, that'd be huge points for Brandon Mason and Oklahoma State if somehow he could do it. He just got the escape to make it 2-1 in favor of Gavin.
And Askren gets on the board.
There he is with the takedown there. 2 points for Ben Askren.
Took him a little longer than normal there, a minute and a half.
We're starting to get nitpicky now, aren't we?
That the heavyweight from Sacred Heart is the first
at 174 pounds. No one has come within 3 points of Askren all year.
Askren has so many weapons, so many ways to score. He usually uses 4, 5, 6 of them in every match. So often it ends with the referee's hand slapping the mat.
Three pins here in this NCAA championship. 31 pins on the year for Askren. And a record of 40-0. Also on a win streak of 85 straight for Askren.
2-1 in the second period on mat 4 between Gavin and
His
Mason.
strength is so deceiving. I mean, he doesn't look all that strong, but he has got strength from his tips of his toes to the end of his fingers, and I'll tell you what, Luedke feels it.
And it's mainly from body position. He just aligns himself so way, and it puts the leverage down on you. You don't need super big biceps once you have leverage.
This kind of stands up, separates his hips, brings the elbow through, hand control, 1 point.
I love how he just reaches over the head constantly. Most people would be afraid of the leg shot. He relishes it.
And Askren 3 times.
All tied now in the other match.
Stalling warning, man number 4 against Brandon Mason.
Now, not many people can do what Ben Askren was trying to do there and does so effectively so often. There's the reshot. Head down, hips not under him, and he still comes out with the 2.
Nice double leg, and I liked how he lifted the one arm through the middle between the legs of Luedke there, and he was able to, that's really a high crotch shot, and then he cut to the double.
So with Askren in command, 5-0 with a minute left in the second period. Let's focus in a little bit on Mason and Gavin. We're tied at 2 late in the second period.
Mason unseated, as we talked about, and he came highly recruited out of Iowa. He was an Iowa prep, 3-time state champion that came to Oklahoma State and wanted to make a big splash right away, but it's taken him a little bit longer than people were willing to give. He's a sophomore, but he didn't do the job as a freshman that they wanted him. At Oklahoma State, they don't like to wait too long. And so here he is, an All-American as a sophomore, doing it.
Mason didn't wait long to get married, too. He's already married to Brittany Hill, who's a member of the track team at Oklahoma State.
125. We'll make that assignment 5 minutes from now.
So you're telling me he had other things on his mind?
Yes, maybe. So do we as we go to Quinn Kesnick.
Tied up at 2 apiece between Keith Gavin and Brandon Mason. Gavin scored an earlier takedown. Mason has 2 escapes, and we're just starting the third period.
Inside trip, look at that. The leg right there, the hips through, the extension, 2 points. Tremendous execution by Gavin.
2 more for Gavin.
Just knew how to distribute his weight just right there against Mason.
No change. That means Mason will start on the mat. Gavin on top, leading 4-2 with a minute 35 remaining. Into the second period with Askren still in command over Luedke, 5-1. Mason needs to escape, and he does. That's a point. Makes it 4-3. Riding time, at least for the moment, not a factor. Gavin has 51 seconds of riding time.
And he has the 2 takedowns. He's the one that has established the dominance on his feet. Mason has yet to show that he can get the takedown that's needed.
He still is in striking distance. One mistake by Gavin, and Mason could win this match.
A little tighter now on the top match as Luedke gets another escape. Makes it 5-2.
Right away, Askren gets another takedown. He is a machine.
If looking ahead, Gavin or Mason, either one of those guys have a shot against Askren.
Well, really, this is a weight class that, and heavyweight as well with Conrad, that there's a big separation between the #1 seed. I mean, it's not the strongest weight class. Everybody in the wrestling nation knows that it's probably considered one of the 2 weaker weight classes once you get past #1. Askren, man, he's at another level.
Probably the same was being said when Askren was a freshman and Chris Pendleton dominated this weight class.
And that's probably one reason that Askren got where he got as a freshman. Sometimes that happens.
Now 20 seconds remaining on the bottom match.
Down to the final 15 seconds on 4. Still a 1-point lead for Gavin.
Mason needing a takedown. Taking a shot.
Gavin should be trying to tie up wrists.
Gavin backing up now. Just trying to hang on. And that will do it. Keith Gavin of Pitt able to beat unseeded Brandon Mason of Oklahoma State 4-3 So Gavin goes on to the finals.
Keith Gavin.
Some lost points for the Cowboys, a lost opportunity there. So we'll go into our other match with Askren in command, under 30 seconds to go. Askren well on his way to yet another title, well on his way to yet another finals. It will be his 4th straight finals.
He'll go up the number 2 seeded Gavin.
What's he shooting with 29 seconds for? But that's the kind of guy Askren is. He's never satisfied. Shooting again.
You know, try to tell anyone this isn't good for wrestling to see somebody like Ben Askren wrestling for 7 minutes. It's always entertaining.
On the plane ride here to Detroit, all the people on the plane, knowing I was coming here to do this wrestling championship, were talking about Ben Askren and Johnny Hendricks and Conrad. These are the stars of the sport. You know what? It's good for the sport of wrestling.
4 times in the finals for Ben Askren.
How about that?
4-time finalist. Tomorrow night he'll go for his 2nd NCAA title.
And he's not satisfied. He's shaking his head.
So Askren, 86 matches in a row. And does anybody doubt he's going to make it 87 straight to close out his collegiate career?
Odds are he's the favorite.
So Askren moves on, looking for yet another NCAA title to match the one he had his junior campaign against Keith Gavin. Well, we're getting down to 184